You don't even care.
Don't get me wrong, city living has its perks, but sometimes you just want to get away from it all. So for the past month, I've been in advanced quarantine in the wilderness of Whidbey Island. And I haven't seen another person in weeks, except for my partner, Katie Rose. We've been learning to live off the land, and we've even been raising a couple chickens. But they're growing up fast, and before long, they'll be full-grown adults. But what if we weren't doing enough as parents? What if their lives didn't have enough enrichment? We knew there was only one thing to do. So we organized a very exclusive hackathon to develop the ultimate 3D printed chicken playground. So after doing some landscaping, installing a set of top-of-the-line biodegradable furniture, running a few hundred feet of power cable, and sitting down for a rousing keynote speech,
It was time to get shacking.
One of our first big realizations as chicken ranchers was that every chicken is different. If we were to construct the ultimate chicken playground, we'd need to custom build each piece to match our chicken's unique interests, hobbies, and personalities. And after spending a few weeks getting to know them, and a few days fleshing out ideas, we landed on 4 concepts, one for each of our feathered friends. Our first concept, the worm tree, was created specifically for our Buff Orpington Buttergrind. From a young age, Buttergrind showed a serious interest in both worms and anything shaped like a worm. So for her, we set out to design every chicken's wildest dream, a tree full of worms. For the worm tree, we spent hours studying real-life trees and modeling them in Blender. And then one night, around 2 a.m., I just trashed everything and made this. This version 2 worm tree comes complete with 32 worm-holding hooks, making it the perfect companion for worm fans everywhere. Since Buttergrind's interest in worms seemed to be mostly shape-based, we opted for artificial worms, also known as rice noodles, and topped it all off with a healthy clump of moss. And for those late-night snackers among us, the worm tree glows in the dark, so you can eat great, even late. Next up, meet Callie, the shy, fluffy-cheeked Russian Olaf. We wanted to design a toy that embraced Callie's 2 passions in life, pecking at things and staring at her own reflection. So for her, we created the Garden of Mirrors. Each flower features a print-in-place rotating disc that can spin freely when pecked. We glued cosmetic mirrors to the faces of each disc, along with 45 flower petals. Next up, meet our bigger, buffer Buff Orpington, Natalie. Natty might be a rooster. We're not really sure since most of our farming knowledge comes from Stardew Valley. Natty's 2 passions are eating and roughhousing. So to help burn off some of that steam, we designed the Pecking Post. A Weeble-inspired egg with a sand-filled weighted bottom that rocks back and forth when pecked. At least, that was the plan. Initial tests looked promising, but after gluing the 2 halves together, it was way too top-heavy. We knew we didn't have time to print a replacement part, so we did what anyone in our position would do, and glued some balloons to it. And that actually kinda helped. We were hopeful Natty would forgive us, since we'd covered the Pecking Post in a smattering of peanut butter and a hearty helping of dried corn kernels and braised mealworms. Lastly, we have Andromeda, the rambunctious adventurer who loves to perch. For Andromeda, who might also be a rooster, we designed a chicken jungle gym, also known as the Jungle Gym. The Jungle Gym adopts a sawed-off log motif and prints in 11 easy-to-assemble parts: 1 bread bowl, 1 vampire killer, and 9 chungles. Any chicken who can climb the 9 jungles and reach the peak will be rewarded with a bowl full of breadcrumbs. The Jungle Gym also has this really cool DNA-inspired helical structure, so it really just kind of begs to be spun. So after gluing the Jungle Gym back together again, it was time for the judges to assess our creations and determine the winner of Chack. To ensure each chicken got some one-on-one time with their respective toys, we decided to let them out of the coop one at a time. And first out of the gate comes Buttergrind, reviewing the worm tree.
Buttergrind! Look at these. Buttergrind, look.
Since Buttergrind had never spent much time away from her siblings, we decided she might feel more at ease if we let everyone out at once. And after that, we got a much warmer response. Mostly to the moss. And then Callie tackled our camera, which we took as a hint it was probably time to bring out her toy, the Garden of Mirrors. While Buttergrind didn't seem to care much for our artificial worms, Callie was absolutely entranced by her toy. For a little while. And then she got scared and ran away. Natty really liked this one too, giving it a single solid peck before getting distracted by dirt. Since the Pecking Post was heavily food-based, we were sure it would be a hit with our chickens. But as it turns out, chickens just really don't like peanut butter. This one got a few good pecks though, which definitely justified the 10 hours it took to print. And finally, it was time to unveil the Jungle Gym. We tried to convey the idea by making a little breadcrumb trail along the jungles, but in the end, they just didn't seem to trust it. And I don't really blame them. So we ended up just feeding the rest of the breadcrumbs to them by hand, and they seemed to like that better. Since no one else showed up to challenge us, we felt content to call this one a win. And to celebrate, we wrote a song.
You were an egg before, now you're a chicken. I was an egg before I became me. You like to eat worms while I prefer rice noodles. Our friendship never ends, my feathered friend. I hope our friendship never ends, my feathered friends.
We'd set out to build the ultimate chicken playground. And while some would say we succeeded, in the end, the real chicken playground was us.
You'll lay some eggs one day, don't know if I will. You've got some wings to fly, wish I could join. We're different heights, but we still can walk together. Our friendship has no end, my feathered friends. I know our friendship has no end, my feathered friends. I know our friendship has no end, my feathered friends.
Great.
All right.
Thanks so much for watching. Maybe you want to make your own chicken playground. Well, over at patreon.com/HunterIrving, we've got you covered. You're going to get the worm tree, the Garden of Mirrors, the Pecking Post, and the Jungle Gym. But wait, there's more. You'll also get an MP3 of our song Feathered Friends, a behind-the-scenes director's commentary video, 6 print-at-home collectible trading cards, our artificial worm recipe, access to my patron-exclusive Discord channel, and an invite to the CHAC 2020 digital after-party in Animal Crossing New Horizons. But I know what you're thinking. How much is all this gonna cost me? Just $1. It's $1. Thank you to everyone who helped make this video possible. And a huge thanks to you, the viewer. I'll see you next time.